go deep into your mind, your breath, using your breath to go into the mind to really slow yourself down and notice what's happening, right? That is what this is all about here, practicing and employing various tools at just the right time to be able to set ourselves up for an opportunity to achieve a greater potential in every moment in time, without grasping and grappling for control, allowing ourselves and accepting the space to be still, embracing and embodying a more balanced state of our energy. My name is Michael Shikatano, and this is Right Here, Right Now, a podcast to inspire the learner inside each of us. In a world that is full of so much information, we will help find and package that information so that you can use it in your lives every day in practical ways. And in each episode, we will remind you of the importance of being present and mindful of your daily thoughts, actions, and interactions. It is truly the most vital step to learning and growth, being mindful and present right here, right now, to take on life's challenges and turn them into life's lessons. So come on this venture with us, a new beginning, a new journey that starts right here, right now. Welcome back, people. I am Michael Shikatano, your host of Right Here, Right Now, the podcast that simply brings it all, and I mean everything, back to mindfulness, to the present moment awareness that awaits us all. The podcast that looks to integrate the information and knowledge and insight and wisdom across various topics of self-development and wellness into this practice, a practice and a process where we can learn about how we can be calmly and deliberately supercharging every moment of our lives in more gently mindful ways. The podcast that will help to illuminate our mind, to brighten every moment that we have the capacity to be present for. And in doing so, having the capacity to be more mindfully prepared for our very own, very next moments in life. And I am extremely excited and grateful and inspired and perhaps even humbled that you joined me and have made some time in your life for this message and the insights we will explore right here, right now, and that I get to share this exact episode with exactly each and every one of my beautiful listeners. And I hope to take you on a journey in this very episode to demonstrate how we can better appreciate every mindfully experienced moment of our lives. And maybe we can remind ourselves of the simple truth that this moment is all that we ever have. Let's kick off this very episode with a quote, but perhaps something a little bit more awesome for me today, a little exciting for me today, hopefully for you as well. The quote is not from a famous philosopher or amazing historian or brilliant scientist. Today, the quote is from yours truly, something that I came up with in a creative and present and mindful moment. Not merely a quote for me, it's really a way of thinking, a way of being. Dare I get a bit cliche here and declare a way of life? These words that I hope might transform the way we might think about mindfulness today. At least they did for me as I penned them. And I think this is the point of quotes and some writing, that we use them and we revisit these words and we reflect on them in a mindfully conscious way. And perhaps the message and the words find us in a different state of mind, even a different mood, and inspire some sort of action or new thought. And I often find that it's really all about timing when those words land on your lap and in your mind and in your heart. I really do think that's why I love the quote so much. They ground us in a way of thinking that offers us a moment to reflect on the words and the thoughts created in a past moment to help slow us down, perhaps revitalize us in the very moments that we're able to revisit those words. And so I quickly yet mindfully scribble down the quote down in my paper pad that I take everywhere with me. The pad is in this very nice little soft brown leather case, and it feels so comfortable and satisfying to hold and to open up and to, of course, write in, to get out some thoughts, to release some brand new, bright and beautiful energy into this world. Perhaps to be shared like I am doing today, and perhaps some thoughts not quite ready for dissemination. So I jotted the words down when they came to my mind, really when the insight and the wisdom of each and every word combined to capture the moment in my heart before it manifested onto the page and here with each and every one of you. Or maybe it was my heart that whirled these words out into the world. One of my creative moments from a tranquil and calm state of being, of my peaceful and mindfully present existence these days. Of course, the words came up on another meditative train ride into Brooklyn, a train ride that allows me to have some extra time to do some of the things that I love to do. I'm blessed with this extra time to be able to expand and expend my creative energies and unleash my creative spirit. And depending on the weather and the time of the year, I get to see the sunrise every morning. In the mornings, though, at least the sky, if I don't actually see the sun coming up, the sky is transformed from dark to bright in the luminescence of colors that are impossibly beautiful and uniquely displayed right up in the sky, right in front of our eyes. Most every day, really, I get to see this. Could I really be any more blessed with that opportunity? Little mindset shift there. Roughly 4 hours of solitude. Sure, there are many others on the train, but I am often alone with my thoughts and alone with my books and alone with my laptop or phone or pad to either fill my mind in a state of consumption or release some of its contents onto the page in a state of creation and eventually shared and out into the world. And so I was recently reading a book by Anne Lamott called Bird by Bird, Some Instructions on Writing and Life is the subtitle there. And I really connected with how she instructs, maybe reminds writers that we write from our subconscious. We spend our days listening, observing, storing things away, making our isolation pay off and turn it all into gold, hopefully. She tells us how the author is just the typist. And I thought, what a wonderful way to think about writing and writers, that the words are there, they're inside, maybe deep inside, and we just need to unleash them and allow them to come to the surface of our mind and our hearts and eventually to our fingers. And I thought that was a really profound thought and a really profound statement. I didn't really notice the concept until after reading the book, which was after I wrote down these words. And after I have written many, many words, it's something nice to reflect on. And it's really just you're sort of the vessel of the creative spirit to let these things just come out. And so here's the quote, the idea, the insightful way to perceive our moments that I am very excited to dive deeper into and learn a bit more about how we can extrapolate more wisdom out of each of our thoughts and considerations on our journey together. And so I'll humbly bring you these words in this exact moment in time, right here, right now. The essence of mindfulness is to live every moment like your next moment depends upon it, because in fact it does. And the thought and the words that popped up, they made so much sense to me. Maybe when I first got them out, I was super excited and read them again, and they seemed maybe trite or rote, perhaps, but nonetheless profound, really, at least for me. And sometimes the most simple thoughts are the most elegant, the most impactful. Maybe because we take them for granted, these thoughts seem related to various teachings, maybe really not a new scientific discovery here, perhaps a new way of thinking about the concepts of mindfulness, its power, its significance, its meaning, to me, at least in that moment in time, and hence its utility for each and every one of us in each and every one of our moments. And why do I believe these words can have a great impact on each of us and each of our moments? Well, I kind of felt, and this was really what the inspiration was to go a little bit deeper, that this perspective accentuates the importance of fully engaging with the present moment, recognizing its significance in shaping our future experiences, and affords us this context of what this exact moment can offer us. I am sure the underlying message in this insight resonates with core principles found in various mindfulness teachings. And I hope you may, in this very moment, realize what mindfulness can offer you, or maybe be reminded of what being mindfully immersed in our moments may have in store for each of us. And so I got to looking for and kind of digging a little bit for some other quotes. And maybe this quote is kind of related to the following thoughts on what exactly mindfulness is or how it could be defined, that have been born from some of the masters of mindfulness. Certainly this one from John Kabat-Zinn. And he says, the awareness that arises by paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. That's a beautiful definition, right? And so I just kind of really started thinking that was the first draft of my quote. And as writers, especially this writer, my passion is writing and creating, really, and sharing and exploring and being curious and lots of things. But what we do is we kind of put a first draft down, and there's a leveled up version of this quote, leveled up from what Anne Lamott calls most of our shitty first drafts, she calls them. And her theory for writers and creatives are anyone that has the capacity to write well is really just to get the words and feelings and thoughts down on paper, then go back, make them better and better. And I really love this. It's something, again, that I did often, but now deliberately and mindfully do, consciously aware of it, and is why so much of the writers, I think, that love to write always go back to their previous works and continue working them and working on them. And maybe just even removing some of the words to let the essence of the message come out a little bit more clearly. Sometimes I think in my greater wisdom of writing, I think writing less is a bit more these days. But I did add more to this quote, and let's see the second draft here. The essence of mindfulness for now is to live every moment like your next moment vitally depends upon it, because in fact it does. And in doing so, you unlock the infinite possibilities hidden within this very moment. And I thought that was nice, huh? An added touch, and maybe, who knows, maybe another version manifests in this very episode right in front of our eyes, right here, right now, perhaps. So, of course, I began to think about this thought that I had, right? That's kind of nice, thinking about our thoughts and what exactly these words might add up to and what they might mean in the context of our journey to a more mindful approach to life. And notice I use the phrase a more mindful approach here, as I'm trying to be a bit more gentle on the expectations that we place on ourselves in this practice of being more mindful, really in any of our practices. And the word more allows me to know that even just a little better is good enough in this moment, maybe setting me up for greater clarity and a greater opportunity in my next moment, right? That's what this quote is all about. And the word approach allows me to understand that it is not a final destination here. It is a path, a journey to being more mindful, becoming more mindfully aware of the present moment, right? We've heard this so much about so many things. Mindfulness is not a place, it is a direction that we are heading. It is a path that we lay for us to gently pay closer attention to our experiences and thoughts and feelings and interactions and so much more. And you may often hear me use the word capacity, right? What I mean by this is that we prime ourselves with the tools for a better opportunity to more mindfully approximate every moment of our lives. This mindset may allow us to be more gentle on ourselves in this not so easy practice of mindfulness. And maybe this is what makes this mindfulness practice feel so challenging, maybe an insurmountable sort of task, an undertaking. Do we think that the practice is a bit out of reach? Do we think that there is not enough benefit in the work that it might require? Right? It sounds exhausting being mindful in every moment. My goodness. The practice is simple. We just need to show up for each of our moments. And I know how difficult this can be. And it is putting a lot of pressure, mindful in every moment. I think what tends to happen is it becomes a pattern, a way of thinking, a way of being. Again, we'll go back to a way of life. We are able to practice it and do it. And it's a simple thing. It's just the consistency and the discipline to go back and do it again and again in each of our moments. And then the magic is seeing the benefit of being able to do this, being able to employ it even 10% of the time, 20% of the time of our waking hours to go deep into your mind, your breath, using your breath to go into the mind to really slow yourself down and notice what's happening, right? That is what this is all about here, practicing and employing various tools at just the right time to be able to set ourselves up for an opportunity to achieve a greater potential in every moment in time without grasping and grappling for control, allowing ourselves and accepting the space to be still, embracing and embodying a more balanced state of our energy. And I really, really like this quote as my working definition of mindfulness. So, of course, it may change over time, and it may get a little bit more wordy. Maybe words will come out. Maybe the whole context of it will change. But it's a practical approach here, I think, is what it offers us, allowing for even some stumbling and rebalancing along the way, right? We always are stumbling or at the verge of stumbling. We pick ourselves back up, though, and we head back on track. And really, what I meant to conjure up by this insightful idea and why I'm speaking into the microphone right now, and after I scribble down the words on the page, is perhaps what the essence of mindfulness may be for me in this particular moment of time, right? That's what I added for now. what it really has the capacity to offer each of us in each of our moments. The concept is that if we make this very moment an authentically lived moment, a moment that we are a bit more fully immersed in, a moment that deserves a level of focused attention and awareness, and maybe even appreciation, doesn't that mean, isn't it possible in the very next moment, our very own next moment, we will be primed to experience the same level of awareness and appreciation of our moments, or at least the capacity, again, to experience that very next moment in the best way possible, allowing us an opportunity to show up for our very next moment as the best version of our most authentic selves, a freer version of ourselves, perhaps, showing up for who we need to be for others that may need us in their life. And maybe this means that we are tapping into the power of the potential of each of our moments, each of our more mindfully experienced moments. If we use the tools for a better present moment, we may have the capacity to build a better future, moment by moment, little by little. This mindfulness, this practice becomes a new skill that we can employ and enjoy in our lives, letting each of the moments go as they pass us by, not being too harsh if we could have done better, we'll get it better next time, and not being too proud if we ace that last moment in time, we'll surely miss another opportunity in moments to come. Being gentle in our presence, being humble in our mindfulness, people. And so we're going to take a little break. I have more to share, more to offer you with this essence of mindfulness here, with this moment in time. So we're going to break. We'll have part 2 of this episode in the next couple of days, maybe next week. I am glad you joined us. I'm excited to continue to share. Please share this episode with others. It means so much that we can impact even just one more person with our message, with our mindfully prepared message, right here, right now. We'll see you next time, people. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time, right here, right now.